Hello everybody and welcome to Builders of Egypt. I've covered this game already in spring when the first tutorial mission came out, and since then a lot of updates happened, so I thought it would be a good idea to jump back into this game, which looks very promising as a city builder. So the successor, the, well, spiritual successor of Pharaoh. And with that, let's start. A glorious capital for Kemet, the ruler of Upper Egypt. King Narmer conquered Lower Egypt and united the kingdom of the Nile. Now the country needs capital. King Narmer's successor sends you to Memphis to supervise the construction of this magnificent city, a political, administrative and religious center, which will become home to the royal family and thanks to its monumentality will strengthen its authority. And there we have our winning conditions. We need to, well, craft a few things. And what we can see right away is, well, we have lots of space where we can build something. The graphics look really, really beautiful. Gotta say that, with lots of details there in between. Look at that. We can zoom out, of course. We have the mighty Nile. And also, of course, some fertile land. And then also some dust and sandy country that we have here, where we can, well, start building our own little settlement. Let's just have a look. So first of all, is the tutorial mission. It's the only thing that's available right now, and as we can see as well, we do need to start with a road that we need to build along these lines. Of course, later we can build them then ourselves once we have done that at least once for the tutorial. And as we can see, the roads are appearing right away, so that is a huge advantage. And as I also can see, I cannot build anywhere else right now other than these places here, these tiles that we have there. So let's just do this real quick. And there we got the first roads, as we can see. Next up would be houses that we need to place. Well, for the houses, we just don't place houses like that per se, but we are rather going to just place areas where people can then live, right? So these little huts. And the cool thing is those huts will then develop with those people living in these huts. And there we got those. They're of course not occupied at this point. Right, so we still need to get the first settlers into this settlement. Next up is a fire station, so we also need something like that. It oddly costs us food, that's it though. And there it is, a fire station. I love these buildings, these little huts that we have here. It reminds me very much of Assassin's Creed Origins. Well, of course, because it's the same era. And what we can see is, there we get the first people now coming in. They've also been refined significantly since the last update. So, you know, they're much more smooth than now and more detailed. They have their own name, their own demands here, and also their own messages right now. Of course, only one goal for Senna Refi. He wants to go to the city. Next up, we do need a well, otherwise those people cannot advance. So let's just have a look where we have it. There it is, a well. And as we can see, there's also quite a well, surrounding where an area of effect where it's working. And let's place it behind the fire station. It'll also giving them, well, water to the fire station, of course, that it needs very much. And the well now provides water for my citizens. Next up, we do need a clay pit, because that is one of the first resources that we need, and that is ceramics. So let's have a clay pit in this area. Beautiful. And this one, of course, does need something, and we do need a stockpile as well, where we can stock our goods that we produce. It's only costing me some food though, which I find a bit strange, but well, it probably gets ironed out then as well. Now let's just see what else we do need. Now we do have the clay pit, we do have the stockpile. Next up would be a brick maker. So with that, we can then finally start producing those bricks. And let's just see that the entrance is looking towards the city there. Actually, it has two entrances there. We might just do something about that. And as we can see, there they are. And what we can also see is, well, it does need workers. We have 10 workers available, 10 positions here. No one is working at this one, right? For example, the fire station is fully manned, so we have 6 workers here already working on that, and the well has 2 of them, so the effectiveness is pretty high. The brick maker still does need though something. Now, what we need besides the ceramics is also some food, and the mighty river Nile will give us some food for that with a fishery. So let's just have a look. A fishing wharf, there it is. And let's just see that we can build it somewhere here. There we got a nice location. And of course, stockpile we have for, well, wares. For food, we do need a granary. And let's also place a granary here then. course also with the path going into the city itself. And well, those things are not enough. We are crafting now some ceramics, we're now fishing, and we do need to get it to the people, and we're doing this with a bazaar. So on the bazaar, people go and purchase these goods and hopefully pay me a nice amount of money there as well. Beautiful. Whoa, and as we can see, lots of people are now coming into the city and inhabiting those huts there. And as we can see also that the first huts are upgrading already to little huts. So whatever that is, it's now becoming this one. This looks like a beehive. And it's becoming a proper house then. Level 2 house, this is still a level 1 house. And I'm very eager to see how many upgrades we have here. Now, of course, what we can see now, wages were paid. We had to pay 75 food to my people because we don't really have a coin yet, as far as I know. We're paying with food or we're trading wares. And of course, we're not doing that within a city itself. Also, we're doing this around Egypt. So let's go to the region map. And here we can see now all the other cities around us. We are, of course, here in the center. Now, if we select one of these villages, we can establish a trade route. So for Abydos, for example, which is close by and it's along the Nile here as well, it should be easy to trade with them. We can open a trade route for 200 food, and thus we now can trade with them. Of course, for this we will need to have a trade center in our city then as well. Let's just see the economy tab, because here can we see what they produce and what they actually want. So what we can see here, Abydos are... This is the export to Abydos are bricks, so they do need bricks. So that is something that we could export to them now. And set the bricks export to policy. Right, we are INEP, HG, and we do need to export the bricks. And there we have them, and we set it to export. We are back in the city now, and we can now continue freely building our city. So we can, you know, place the pathways if we want to, and thus enlarge our city. The first thing that we'll need, what I can see right away, is, well, more workers. So let's just get out there and build some more houses. In that regard, yeah, on the other side here as well. And let's keep a bit of a distance between each house so we can add some, well, ornaments into the whole thing. And also for the cultural heritage, we do have something like a plaza where we can add something where people can meet. And in that case, let's have this beside the bazaar. So here people can then meet if they want to. And we do need more workforce. That is, well, the most important thing right now. As we can see, available workers is 0. So we are totally capped with that. We do have the clay pit here so that people are working. We have also unlocked now the farms. So with that, of course, the farms we do need to have here in the feudal area. And let's add, I think, 1 farm for now. No one is working on this little farm here yet, so we also need a road. And let's connect it with the fisher wharf here as well, so that we have our food production. And as we go more into the desert region, we have the city itself then. Also a nice little place here, where we might just add something like something religious. We also have faith buildings, and like this shrine here. I think this might make sense to have it here, close to the trees and stuff. Right, so in here, in this fertile area, a little shrine. And I would like to add a few more houses here. Another thing we should not forget is some palm trees. In that case, we can place them here in between those houses, and thus also, well, spend a bit of shadow to these people there who don't want to be in the sun perhaps all day long, and it also makes my city a bit more beautiful. Alrighty, let's just have a look at one of these houses here, and perhaps we can find out what they want. They have the access to a well. That is something. For the upgrade though, they need at least 1 type of food. Right now they don't have any type of food, right? We are already getting the fish, but of course it's not enough for all of these people. And the farm, which still lacks the workers, which would give us then some wheat and some straw. We do need both of these things. There are more people though coming in now. As we can see, we have 60 inhabitants. More and more of them are joining my little town, and thus we have also a bit more workforce. Now something else is that, of course, for the ware production, we not only have now the bricks that we are making right now, we would also, for example, have the potter. The potter then, well, produces some pottery for us that we can use for our people. And I would like to have it, and let's place one here then as well, so that we have the pottery. And we have another brick maker and the pottery, and I think the pottery will need also a clay pit, but we'll see about that. In my stockpiles, I can see we have 100 clay available right now. So of course these people then here, they go there, and as we can see, they also deliver those goods then to the stockpile. Ineni is doing this right now, and we can also see how he feels about the town right now. He's half happy, and he is 36 years old. And there's even more clay now, so I hope my people are going to, well, use some of that. More wages were paid. I don't have that much, well, money anymore in the reason of food, of course. So as we can see, the fields are being worked on, or the farm. I would like to have another one close to the river, and perhaps also a second fish production. Can we still place one here? No, unfortunately not. We would need another place. Here we can place something. And there's also, I think, a trader coming in, or someone who takes the goods. Yeah, this is the trader from Abydos, and he wants to buy something, and that is bricks, and he would pay with some food for it. As this city develops. And as we can see, there are also some people now in front of the bazaar purchasing some stuff. What do we have here right now? I don't think much, right? No fish. Actually, we don't have anything right now. So I hope they stop slacking so much and start producing us some fish there. And oh, very nice detail. What we can see, we have some flooding there as well. So those farms cannot work right now due to flooding of the river. Of course, that is something we always have to keep in mind. Can we place these farms somewhere else? No, we really only can place them here. So there will be some, well, quite some times when we cannot harvest anything with those fields. And we have also reached our first milestone, that is we've become a settlement. So we've upgraded, we have over 100 inhabitants now here. And of course, as we can see, the city is growing. We have now 17 available workers. We have way more, and we might actually go with another clay pit because I want to produce more in that case. Another, well, not a brick maker, but a clay pit that we have it. Having two side by side should be fine. It's beautiful. Beautiful buildings that we have here. I like the style of that. Looks like a nice little garden that you might want to have in the palm trees here. My fields are now working, so there are people. I think since we do have the people or the workforce, let's just get us another farm up here, right? Because I really do want to produce more, and since we do have so many people, it might be a good idea. And as we can see, they're now delivering the food then, in this case here, the corn to my granary. We can also see there is now more ceramics also in store that we can sell for a bit of food. And let's have a look at my bazaar there as well. Do we have something now? Yes, at least there's fish. So people can go here now and purchase some fish as well. The trader is also coming into the town once again, trying to purchase something. He wants to buy some 1,200 bricks there actually, and 700 clay. Well, he can purchase a bit of it. Once again, we do have some flooding. This really hurts though. All my farms are flooded. I don't think that I can place these farms anywhere else. So only in the floodable area, or the area that is getting flooded regularly, do we have that. So this is a bit, yeah, annoying as it happens so often. And we have also something new. I think this is looking like clay or reeds, sticks. Should it be something like that? Straws. Straws that we have, 400 of these. What can I do with straws? Do we need to sell them? And yes, we also sold once again some wares here for 150 bread in that case, or food. Oh, it's actually bread, literally bread. In that case, some ceramics there. And I would like to, well, upgrade or expand my town. There's more and more people coming, and we do need more space to live for them. And there we have a nice little area, and this is going to be a bit more densely packed, I think. So they're going to be really side by side, perhaps a little plaza then in between here. And then we have a few more buildings, right? We also will need, of course, for this whole thing then, a well. Let's just have the road here. And in here, we might then, or pretty sure I can build some plaza area. Yes. This is looking beautiful. And of course, then, oh well, this is a place where they can meet. And in that case, wait a second, I can also get rid of it, get my bread back, and then we just place a plaza here in the middle, surrounded by some palm trees. I think this makes more sense. Righto. Beautiful. More people will be coming, of course, paying them taxes and stuff like that. A well is something that we, of course, still need for those people here. Otherwise, they, well, cannot drink anything. And it is getting really, really warm here. But look at that, it's really turning into something. More and more stuff is here, so let's just go back to the world map real quick, because we have straws now as well and ceramics, and we don't have, I think, a trade route for that yet. So out here on the world map, we can now choose to also export some clay, which will bring us even more money, or well, bread then, into the whole thing, and yeah, some pottery there, which we also have now in store, and some straw. So this is all that we want to export to the other cities. And this time we actually sold wares for 300 for 500 bread. So quite a lot of bread that we just got there. With the exporting, that was very successful, and thus we can continue paying wages. I think otherwise people would riot and destroy me rather quickly. And there's so many more people coming into the whole thing. In my little settlement there. Of course, every time one of these huts upgrades, there can be more people living there. And I think we have, yep, level 3 houses here now. So we have this one, as we can see, and now we got a proper house with a proper roof on top of it, and people that can, first of all, more people live in here, and of course they also have higher demands then. For example, they want then also some wheat that we don't have yet. Oh well, we have wheat, but now they're going to purchase it as well, beside the fish, right? They want more food, and of course more people can also live in that, and thus it gets more lively here. And of course also more huts are being created here, which means more workers and more food that we can produce. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed this little preview of Builders of Egypt. The game certainly looks interesting, lots of promise, and hopefully future upgrades will be significant with more scenarios so that we can really dive into this game. If you're interested in that, the game is free on Steam right now, Builders of Egypt Prologue. You can play it yourself, you can test it yourself, and enjoying it yourself as well with these beautiful graphics here, and building your own little Egyptian settlement. Stay tuned.